Y de una despecho me zumbé. Si quieres te hago un bebé, te traigo la plan B. Mami, qué rica tú te ves. Pa' los 2000 escucha RBD. Y ahora quieres perreo toda la noche en la pared. Que no se bebe.
Alright, so figured I'd start making YouTube videos since I'm watching a lot of other people make YouTube videos. Today, I'm going to install a vent hood on the roof for my range hood. I don't think it's called a vent hood, I think it's just called a vent. Messed up that up at Home Depot the other day. They were like, what the hell is a vent hood? But it's this metal piece of vent, 6-inch duct work. Make sure you buy the right one. I made that mistake yesterday because I installed the bathroom one. That was the first one I did. Didn't come out too good. I kind of messed up the shingling, but I tarred it up pretty well. We'll see if it holds up for the rain. So what you want to do is, first you want to go in the attic and make a hole. Once you do that, there's no going back. Then what you want to do, well, first of all, you want to get yourself some good shoes. Make sure they're tight. I usually wear my shoes kind of loose because I'm cool like that. But when it comes to being on the roofs, you want to be safe. So make sure you tie your shoes real tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure this hole right here, which I think is about 6 inches, but we'll see. I'm going to draw it out right there. It's kind of sunny today. I should have brought a hat. Oh well. But yeah, it's a 6-inch hole. So what I did was kind of go 3 inches in each direction. And then I'll just draw it out. Then comes the fun part. Cut it out. Alright. Not very good at cutting circles. Big ass hole in my roof. Oh shit. Alright. You can see the inside of my attic now. Yeah, I think that's the one I'm gonna hook up over here. Flexible, so it should be cool. Problem solved. Alright, so the hole worked out nicely. Now I gotta move these shingles. The trick is to try to get these flanges underneath the shingles. Noticing that there's no holes in this one so that I can nail through. I'm just gonna have to put like a bunch of tar underneath it so that it creates a seal. So then what you gotta do next is measure this square right here. That's 8.5 by 8.5. So I gotta draw it out here so I can make that opening and then leave the other shingles untouched so that they can stay on top. I'll show you. Actually, it'll be a good idea to just measure this out. That way you could have the distance to the hole. Because that's the 8.5. Well, it's a little less than 8.5, but what you want to do is do like an inch. I guess it's an inch off. Yeah, it's about an inch from the circle. So here's your 8.5 square, which is that opening that I showed you. And then this other outer, basically that flange right there. So now I got all my shapes in there. What I saw that you have to do is you have to loosen these shingles up. Cut this square out first, and then you can loosen up the other ones. Life lessons with Javi. Like anything in life, before you do anything, you want to make sure that you think about the negative things that could possibly happen from doing what you're doing. In this case, working with sharp knife, definitely don't want to cut myself, so don't cut yourself. You don't want to scrape your fingers as you're cutting on the asphalt, so pay attention to that, don't do that, and also don't fall off the roof. So when you're starting a project, make sure you pay attention to the hazards that could happen and keep those in the back of your mind at all times. Life lessons with Javi. So I cut out my square, the first yellow square, the outer one's still there. So with the outer one, what you want to do, you just kind of want to loosen up the shingles underneath that square, so that you can slide that flange underneath. There's some nails in there, just kind of pop them up a little bit. You don't want to remove this, which is what I did over there, accidentally. So I popped that ring off and just kind of put it in there. What I'm gonna do is when I'm gonna go in the attic, I'll shove it up into this little hole right there, orifice if you will. And right now what I'm gonna do is, got my flaps, I'm gonna slide this underneath, but before I do that, I'm gonna put some tar on it. Some roof cement. So there's my tar. I left this little gap underneath, so that when the rain, if there is some water that kind of slips through this little tar gasket that I created, so it can kind of just seep out through there. And let's put it in. And there you have it. Installed it. Some tar. Try to make it look kind of nice. Tar this part up. Not too shabby. Second time around. All right.